Oh, what's going on? Guys, can you hear me? Are you alive? Is everyone good?
Aye, all here, all good.
Shades is here, ready for Money in the Bank.
Yeah, he's just casually stepping on toy cars before he starts the stream. You know, because that's really what we want to have we start a show off. Good.
Look. I stepped on it, and it's like the old Tom and Jerry cartoon. You step on something, you land on your back. I can't.
Good.
My 5-year-old leaves things everywhere.
I feel like I'm talking to Harry and Marv from Home Alone. We're supposed to be professional.
I'm all good.
Come on
He's
now.
the one that's accident prone.
Come on
Not
now.
me, I'm good.
Unbelievable.
I'm not accident prone.
It's you. It's you.
You know what? I hit I hit the floor hard, just as Paul Heyman did.
All right, well, we're gonna get on to. Look at you. Look, I'll give you some level of professionalism, but being able to bring it back to the stream. However, there's probably one time in a million that you'll be able to do that. You won't be able to say that again, I bet.
Never.
Exactly. exactly.
Like on our graphic with the Samoan coming through the sky.
Yeah. Good moment, man. Is it a plane? No. It's Jacob Fatu. that's literally what that is. But how's your week been? Are you good?
Oh,
yeah, it's been a good week. I enjoyed myself.
Good.
It's been a very good WWE week.
It has been a solid week, obviously, within WWE. Obviously, we are going to try and cover more like wrestling that's going on. But, as you know, there's limited time and, there's only 3 of us. And 2 of you work awful hours.
I work a lot of hours, sorry, boy.
So, yeah.
I work.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying you don't. I'm just saying your hours are inconsistent, and then his hours are all over the place. And I'm going back and finishing off my studies. So it's, it's all over the place.
All busy in ways, boys. In ways.
Yeah. But we are still covering WWE, obviously. So, have you guys enjoyed the week of the show? Like so far, what we've seen, how it's been? Has there got gripes?
This week's spots and calamities and disasters going around were amazing this week. All shows have been on spot, not on spot, on point, and amazing this week for me.
I've said it before. I'll say it again. Ever since Triple H took over as like the main creative man, it's just each week seems to just go up another level.
Yeah, I do agree. I agree. All right, so let's before we talk about going up a level, obviously there's a couple of things that you guys could probably do for us that would do us an absolute favor. So firstly, subscribe to the Hounds of Wrestling on YouTube for more content, including news, reviews, predictions, obviously a lot more. Speaking of, when I say a lot more, I will give you a little peek behind the curtain. Guys, we don't normally do this. All right. But something that is coming up that we spent 2 hours on doing yesterday is coming out this week. The midweek video will be our Money in the Bank winners tier list. Guys, that was fun, right? You enjoyed that?
It was an emotional 2 hours, put it that way.
The only thing that I'll say that will make people and draw their attention to go see it is there is a great debate on the bathrobe wearing man.
Yeah, and we're not talking about Robert Roode here. All right? We're talking about Shades on the stream. That's what.
Oh yeah, lovely. No, we're talking about how Damien Sandow needs to be moved, and I'm relying on viewers to back me up. So when you go watch it, make sure you comment, because I need him moved to the lowest category. He wears a bathrobe to the ring.
No,
so did that beatball.
So anyway, the other thing, guys, that obviously we do give you this YouTube channel and this podcast free of charge. But if you want to do something to support us, by the way, these two guys don't know this yet. But if you want to do something to support us and the channel other than subscribing, you can go and follow us on TikTok, because that's now happening. So we're going to be flipping a lot of this. But something that these guys don't know, so I'll drop the little bombshell now. Going forward, the Hounds of Wrestling are officially under Rogue affiliation. So use the code The Hounds and unleash your potential with Rogue Energy.
Ooh.
It is the premium energy drink that fuels your focus, whether you're streaming, gaming, working, or in the gym. No jitters, just sustained energy. So elevate your day with Rogue. That is The Hounds for 10% off at your checkout, and you can use it every single time.
Nice.
So,
Nice surprise like that. That's cool.
Wait a minute. We got sponsored?
There's a sponsor. That's right. I'll put it up one more time.
We
Use
got
the
a nice
code
sponsor. I like
The
it.
Hounds at 10% off. That kicks us a couple of pennies back to keep the podcast going. And then anything else that doesn't keep the podcast going, we kind of ask Deeks to do it. But yeah, use the code The Hounds to get 10% off.
Wow, that's special. That's great. Thank you, Rogue.
So,
Thank you, Rogue. I'm enjoying one of the drinks right now. It's very nice.
It is indeed. So
I wondered why Cat dropped off a Rogue earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Let's
I do.
So it's not only that, by the way, you can either get it in a can or you can get some badass shakers. And obviously I want to get a new one. So click obviously go shop now. You can try it for free. You can get like a little teaser, like free pack thing, and you can have like sour candy. What else you get? Fruit punch, dragon fruit, blood orange, black cherry. Stick them in a shaker, get some water, shake that bad boy up for 30 seconds, and you're good to go.
I'll take 100.
But yeah, man. That's so obviously that's where we're at with that. Now let's get on to some wrestling. Obviously, we're all fueled up by the sounds of it. And one of the things that's I feel like is a very, very, very important topic is, guys, this Dijak is it's shocking. Basically, I will give you the skinny update, which is Dijak says, here's the truth. WWE never, I can't zoom in. WWE were never negotiated with me. We attempted to negotiate and they stonewalled us. They never made a single offer. Then they informed me that they would not renew my contract at the 11th hour. 2 months ago, I was in one of the best matches in NXT history and the top match of WrestleMania weekend. On that day, a top executive in WWE told me I was crushing it, and I was slated to feud for the NXT title, but I got called up to Raw instead. I consistently outperformed everyone's expectations, especially throughout 2023 and early 2024. I never complained about anything or was difficult to work with. I tirelessly pitched ideas to anyone who wanted to work with. I tirelessly pitched ideas to anyone who would listen. As recently as the day before I was notified, I never once missed a booking, and I was injured one time in 7 years for 3 months. I'm thankful and disappointed, but also excited. This has lit a fire under me to relentlessly prove myself to the world. All I ever wanted was a fair shot, and now I have the opportunity to go out and take it. That's enough talk. It's time to do or die, Jack. My last day under WWE, under a WWE contract, is June the 28th, 2024. It's got bookings/interviews. Book Dijak@gmail.com. Get ready to feast your fucking eyes. Donovan Dijak. So, guys,
I love how on the 27th he's typed this out, signed it the day before his WWE contract ends.
Yeah.
Now, I want to see him in another show because he's phenomenal. I can't believe he hasn't been rehired. This is ridiculous.
I mean, obviously, so Deeks is a bigger fan. I would say out of the three of us, Deets is the biggest fan for NXT. Like, obviously, he's the one that kind of gives the NXT updates and stuff. But it's crazy to think that Dijak is now no longer with WWE at all. When literally, when he got called up, we was all excited about him getting called up because of the run that he had in NXT. It blows my mind how they didn't give him, like, continue with his contract, like renew it at least. Why get him called up and drafted to Raw to then not use him? Like, what an absolute joke.
Yeah, for me, the boys, when I saw it first come out yesterday, I was very gobsmacked by WWE letting him go like that, because he's a good guy. He works hard. He's a good former. He's got technical ability and other abilities to his game, and they're losing an asset there. The guy can carry a title. The guy can work. The guy can do anything. Then they're losing an asset. WWE have made a huge mistake letting this guy go.
Yeah,
in my eyes.
Fully fumbled it. Really,
and whoever grabs him in the next couple of months or next year, they've got a diamond in their hands, waiting to crush it.
Yeah, I agree. I'll tell you what, he not only that, but he's already teased an AEW Forbidden Door, which he teases a little Forbidden Door. This literally come out five hours ago. It says Dijak wants to feature Eyes on the weekend, so he's already appeared in his own town, in his own backyard, Blitzkrieg Luau in Connecticut. Apologize if I butchered that. And it says the Punk Rock Pro Wrestling Party promotion stated that Dijak is a free man. And obviously he got a promo in the ring saying, "Today is such a beautiful day. It's early in the morning right now. Why don't we go for a nice little drive, huh? Maybe a 4.5-hour drive. Maybe that's exactly what today calls for." Let's see. He says, when considering the distance, Long Island fits the bill for 4.5-hour drive for Dijak, which is where AEW's Forbidden Door takes place tonight. In his letter, Dijak stated that he'd be taking bookings starting the June 28th, so him appearing at Forbidden Door is very, very plausible to happen. So,
yeah,
guys, honest opinions, do you think we're going to see Dijak in AEW tonight? Because the good thing with AEW is they are signed to the company, but they can take indie bookings and do specific dates. So it's a lot different to the way WWE does things. So do you think Dijak appears tonight in AEW? And if so, what are your thoughts on it?
If he appears tonight, if he appears tonight, you know, let's look at the dates here, gentlemen. Yeah. Yep. It is the 30th of June. He was released. His contract was 2 days ago, expired.
Yeah.
This man don't sit around. If he appears tonight, that just shows the pure work ethic that he's going on about in his letter.
Yeah, exactly that.
You know, if he does appear tonight, I will be ecstatic and very happy for him that he's got, you know, a massive opportunity in a great company that's really that AEW has come forward a lot.
Yeah.
You know, so maybe this is the stepping stone he needs. Things, you know, sadly WWE didn't work out for whatever reason.
It blows my mind how it didn't.
I don't understand how that didn't work out, but you know, shocks do happen. But now, are we going to see Dijak run, rule, and just ravage the AEW roster? I think after all of this, that we're going to see Dijak tonight.
Yeah, I'd like to see Dijak appear in AEW. I think he'd be a great get, you know, for Tony. But what I would say though is sometimes it annoys me when obviously we've just made exactly the same situation, saying, "Oh, Dijak could go to AEW." All right, and I'm not against seeing Dijak walk out like this and go to AEW. I'm not against it at all. But sometimes AEW, a lot of guys, their roster's so stacked that I don't want him getting lost in the shuffle and being just another guy. You know, like he has so much potential. You don't want him to become just another guy. I mean, we were literally discussing this earlier. There's like 14 matches on the AEW card tonight for Forbidden Door.
I know, it's mad, insane. You got 4 in the kickoff show. You've got 8
The other
for
the
the
other 10
PLE.
are, yeah.
What?
So
You know, is it 8 or 10?
it's 10.
10
There's
on the
4
main
on
show.
the
You got
4
4
on
on the
the
pre-show.
I'm sorry, boys.
And-
When was the last time that we watched the PLE with 10 matches, or even a kickoff show with 4 matches, and all the matches
that's what I'm
look
talking
great?
about. Yeah, that's
It's
what
been
I
a
mean.
while, boy. It's been a
So
while.
it's crazy.
10 match
But yeah, so-
PLE. This is mad.
exactly. I mean, so Dijak, if he appears tonight in AEW, good for him. If he doesn't, then whatever company he signs with is going to be, man. I think he's going to make a
That's-
huge splash.
A spanner in the works. Let me throw a
Mhm.
spanner out there. Now, we know WWE and TNA have this weird relationship, marriage, divorce, whatever going on. Yeah, and it's great what they're doing. If the AEW thing don't work out, could Dijak be signed under TNA, even though there's a TNA WWE partnership?
Possibly. It is possible. He'd be great in TNA, to be honest. I think
Yeah,
TNA.
That's where I think he'd thrive.
He was smashing TNA, mate, big time. Smash it. If he go TNA, mate, he'll be champion, I reckon, within at least a year. Easy.
I can see that.
He is that
I mean,
good of talent. He's got
he's
so much.
Adding
So
to
much
the
ability.
spanner.
Unreal.
Imagine this. He appears tonight as a one-off for AEW.
Yeah.
Yeah. A week or so goes past. Gets signed into TNA. Dominates TNA, and then WWE beg him to come back.
Well, that's their
Because
fault.
they're
isn't it?
losing
They're
such a great start, and for some reason they don't see that because they're not renewing his contract.
Exactly.
So maybe this will be a wake-up call for WWE, and they'll be like, "Oh, well, yeah, we made a mistake," and they've done it in the past, boys.
They
Yeah.
have.
They've done it
It's
numerous
not
times.
the first time I've done this. They've done it at least 5 or 6 times in the past.
So, I mean, the only thing we can do is wait, and we'll find out. Obviously, we'll discuss in the following.
Let me throw a
Friday.
question out there: who's appeared in WWE, TNA, AEW, and now he's back in WWE, ruling the kingdom?
Yeah, exactly. Cody done the same thing. I mean, to be fair though, Cody left. Obviously done his indie dates. Obviously he done his TNA stuff. He was also doing his New Japan stuff. Then obviously he was a part of the AEW, like birth of AEW. Then obviously left and come back to WWE. But sometimes it does take, Cody's a prime example of you might need to take a break from something and then come back bigger and better than you did before. Cody is a prime example of that.
Let's
There's
look at
another one on right now on WWE books right now. Does the same thing. Drew McIntyre. He got contracted.
Yeah.
And then he got released. He went round to Japan and all that kind of stuff and come back again.
Let's look at past.
There's a lot.
Let's use Cody as a massive example. We've gone from Stardust to the American Nightmare, and to do that, he left. He had to walk away. Now, in one of his speeches, not long after he come back, he talked about it. How someone gave him the idea of maybe, or like just a phrase or something, like how sometimes you need to walk away to get what you want.
Mm-hmm.
And now look at what he's got.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe it's Dijak's turn to pull a Cody.
I mean, sorry. I mean, it's possible. I wouldn't be against it. I think Dijak is one of these people that can kind of walk away from the company. Obviously, he left on the contract, obviously expired. So it's bad parting from them, not Dijak. He upheld his part of his contract. But I would say even if let's say he does AEW tonight, then signs with TNA, right? Or doesn't sign with anyone for a little while, does what the with Matt Cardona done. Kind of just appears everywhere, does all these indie shows, gets his name for himself. And then once he's got this name, this big name, even bigger, and it's more established and everyone wants to work with him, then when he signs for, let's say, for example, TNA, right? He's not only just signing with TNA, he's taking his fan base to TNA, and that's even better for TNA and better for him because he doesn't. He's then something like he's a reason to watch the show. So, and I can see Dijak being a kind of person that is going to do that.
Another comparison you can make with regards to fan bases and superstars leaving, all right, this is a while ago, but let's look at this fan base for a second. Now we know Dijak has a great fan base.
Mhm.
Every time he comes out, massive pop, loads of noise. They love what he does. Now, to make a very good comparison, let's look at CM Punk. Yeah, he walked away, a long time ago, but the
10
fan
years
base
ago.
never ever left.
Yeah, I mean, it's
He went
funny
to
because someone like Punk,
AEW, yeah,
yeah. I
massive,
think with Punk,
massive
though, it's
pop.
different. I would say with Punk, it's a little different. I will.
No, but I'm on about the fan base part, not
Yeah.
not comparing the two superstars, comparing the fan base. Like wherever Dijak goes, the fans are going to follow him. Wherever Punk goes, the fans are going to follow him. Wherever Cody goes, the fans will follow.
Yeah. I'm with you.
Yeah, it's a good point. Definitely a good point.
Like Punk was away for what, 11 years?
I think it was 10, I think. But yeah, close enough.
A bit longer than that. Was it
12
2000?
years?
Maybe about that.
And the fans never let that name go anywhere other than in WWE's face. And then when he got signed to AEW, that was mental. Now, if
Yeah.
Dijak appears tonight, that's going to be mental.
Fully.
The sheer amount of noise that I know we're going to hear if Dijak comes out,
It'd be a big pop.
brilliant.
Yeah. But yeah, like I said, if it happens, it happens, man. I'll be really excited to see it. But do you know what else I was excited for? Something that really, really took a shock to me, at least. Obviously, we're not going to go in a chronological order of what's going on the screen. But the next talking point will be Sean Spears pinning Tricky.
Massive.
Dude.
Sean Spears pinning Trick Williams on NXT. Very, very good match. Very good surprise at the end of it. I like that match.
It was a shock to Shades' system.
It must have been. So obviously, I'll let you do the talking of it. So obviously, we've got the build up now of these four guys: Javon Evans, Ethan Page, Trick Williams, and Sean Spears. On the build up now for obviously NXT Heatwave. What's your thoughts? Like, obviously, we are going to do a predictions for it, by the way. But Diggs, is this exciting? Are you more excited for this, or was you more excited for it being a one-on-one?
I'm excited for the young OG getting his one-on-one shot, but the twist of a fatal four-way is amazing. I'm so excited for it. It's gonna be a great match. Sean Spears is unpredictable and has got a wicked tempo on him. The champion right now is on fire and pulling off things that he shouldn't be pulling off. Young OG is amazing. He's an aerial acrobat and he does some freaky ass stuff in the air. Yeah. So it's gonna be an interesting match. And Ethan Page is a not being rude to the guy. He's hot right now. He's a bit arrogant, which is good for him. That's kind of his style. But it's going to be a great match of technique, style, high flying, power. It's going to be a good match.
Yeah, man.
It's going to be a good match. It's going to kick off, and then the champion's going to be hard to retain. I'm going to say hard to retain.
Yeah. Obviously, we're trying. I don't want to give a spoiler yet to obviously our thoughts on where we're going and who we think's winning and so on and so on. But this is going to be a fun. I'm telling you, this is going to be a fun one. Like, this is going to be. Oh, I'm really excited for this. Like, really
it's big.
Excited.
It is big. I'm looking forward to it. It's big.
So another thing as well, I was going to say it was I haven't got the graphic, but JC Jane repping the dashing Cody Rhodes mask. Again, I'm not against that. obviously we know Cody gave her the mask. She
That's
had
ago.
a couple of weeks ago. She had surgery. I think she had a broken nose, right? So she had the surgery for that, and she's making that look cool. Like she's coming out with her mask and then Cody's mask over the top, and she's like, she's making it look good.
The only thing I find with it,
the character.
the only thing I find with it is a little bit creepy when she takes it off and looks at it, like she loves it. I think it's a bit weird.
She's in a daze. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little bit weird, a bit creepy, but it's good. I do like it.
It's like it seems like this is a turning point for a character, though.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
So it's one of those things that weirdly it's a blessing in disguise. How many times have we seen something happen that we thought, that shouldn't have happened that way, and then it turns out to be something really successful. Obviously Mustafa Ali got injured with the in the Elimination Chamber, and then we got Kofi Mania. The hijack for Daniel Bryan, and then we got Mania. Do you know what I mean? Like things like that. Becky Lynch being punched by what was her name? Nia Jax. Survivor Series, and it made Becky Lynch the man, and we had that big moment. So sometimes there's a blessing in disguise, and JC is rocking this new look.
Oh yeah, like she's rocking the new look. She does suit her, the new look she's got temporarily.
Yeah. But yeah, so obviously we've got that going on. NXT Heatwave obviously is next Sunday. We do have a prediction for that. Obviously that'll be coming up. That'll be live, guys. If you are watching, obviously because we can see your numbers, leave us some comments. Tell us what you think about what's been going on in NXT. If you've enjoyed it.
Chat amongst yourselves.
Yeah, chat amongst yourselves, and obviously get us involved. Talk to us about it. Tell us what you think. What you enjoyed and what you didn't enjoy, what you think should have changed, if you like certain things in the show.
Ask questions.
Yeah. Just tell us.
We're trying to answer if we can.
So, yeah. So obviously, as we continue on the stream, guys, I think one of the big talking points, I feel like we need to address the elephant in the room, right? Well, not really the elephant in the room. Let's talk about the stupid elephant in the ring, okay? Because he got his ass beaten, and I'm talking about Logan Paul. LA Knight is going in the Money in the Bank. He qualified for the Money in the Bank. So everyone give me a yeah.
Yeah.
Logan Paul is in Money. Is not in Money in the Bank. LA Knight is. What a good triple threat match! Like the qualifier was really, really good.
It was a good match. It was all over the place. High flying.
I love that match.
The feeling was great. It was a good match.
It's been decent, isn't it? I feel like the qualifying matches that we've had have actually been very consistent.
All been good. It will be high energy, high tempo, high interaction with the crowds. It's been good matches. All of them have.
Yeah. And do you like the idea of it all being like triple threat matches?
I wouldn't mind Fatal 4-Way thrown in there, I think, as well. But Fatal 4-Way thrown in. But yeah, I like the triple threat matches as well.
So I've really, I'll tell you what I've done. I've really, really liked it purely because I think when we have just a one-on-one, we know one of them's going in. But when you have the triple threat match, the idea of
the odds go down, and it makes it more interesting.
The odds go down. So, like, I really didn't think it was going to be LA Knight that goes through. And the fact that LA Knight's the one, obviously, that is going into the Money in the Bank. And it was Logan Paul. Was, it's just crazy. I mean, by the way, Logan Paul's attire does look great, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah. Like, the red, white, and blue.
Like, the American flag. Yeah. Oh, especially wearing it at MSG as well. Oh, yeah. Man. As a wrestling fan growing up, the idea of being wrestling at MSG at some point in your career, and
it's the biggest rating they do, mate. They love going there. I love it. I would love to go there.
Yeah. I would love to go there.
I would love to walk around that ramp and stand at a ring, even an empty arena, stand at a ring and just look out and see what they see. I really would love to do that. Really would. Yeah.
Fully. That'd be good. But yeah, so far, let me go through the qualifiers. So the qualifiers were held as triple threat matches across Raw and SmackDown. Io Sky claimed Raw's first spot, defeating Kiana James and Zelina Vega. Chelsea Green become the first on SmackDown to qualify, defeating Bianca Belair and Michin on June the 21st episode of SmackDown. And then on Raw, Lyra Valkyria became the second to qualify from Raw, defeating Kairi Sane and Shayna Baszler. And SmackDown's final 2 spots were determined on the June 28th of SmackDown. And guys, it's Tiffy time. Tiffany Stratton is also in Money in the Bank. I really want to talk about what's going on with Tiffany Stratton. And obviously the other person that was successful, Naomi.
Yeah.
So, you know, are we feeling the glow? Is it Tiffy time? I tell you what, though, before we get into that, I'm actually quite annoyed because as much as it would have been cool to see Naomi in like the Money in the Bank, I was actually hoping that Blair Davenport would be the one that goes through. Obviously, Deeks, you'll know her from obviously watching more around NXT. But
yeah, it's a shame for the girl. She's got drafted up nicely. She's had a good chance, but they didn't give her an opportunity, mate. Unfortunately,
yeah,
she's not bad. She's good talent. She works hard. She's got skills. She's good, but they're not quite it. Love, you sit there and wait a second. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think it's a missed chance.
It could be a swing and a miss, but then it could lead on to something else. You know, there could be a feud coming out of this.
Could be definitely.
Yeah, that's the first thing, obviously. And obviously, the men that have qualified, I'll quickly run through them. So, Jey Uso won Raw's first spot by defeating Finn Balor and Mysterio. SmackDown's participants were determined on the 21st of June on SmackDown, which were Carmelo Hayes. He qualified by defeating Randy Orton and Tama Tonga. Andrade qualified, defeating Grayson Waller and Kevin Owens. The second spot from Raw was earned by Chad Gable, who defeated Braun Strowman and Bronson Reed on the 24th of June. And on SmackDown, the final spot was won by LA Knight, who defeated Logan Paul and Santos Escobar on June 28th episode of SmackDown. What was your thoughts on the NBA players? Tyrese Halliburton and Jalen Brunson getting involved.
It added to the match. It added to the match. It was great because you got to remember where they are. So I'm not an NBA guy. Okay.
Yeah.
But I can't think of his name. But the one who was in the crowd recently played there.
Mm-hmm.
Both of them did recently there.
And robbery. It was basically robbery.
Yeah,
because one of them smashed the other one. I don't know scores, but it sort of added to the rivalry in the ring. The crowd where you were, they just had the NBA rivalry, and it's like, now how can we add this in? So you have the robbery aspect of Logan Paul going for the knucks from his manager Jeff, going for the brass knuckles again. But hold on a minute, NBA star says, "Oh no, you don't," and then they're having their little feud outside the ring. I really wish there was some form of grapple or something. It was more like a stare down, what you'd see on the court.
Yeah, stare down, little words,
But like, Logan Paul was robbed, complete and utter robbery right then and there. He tried to go for the knuckles again, but no, that you failed a few times now with them brass knuckles. Just leave them in Jeff's pocket, pick up a baseball bat or something. And come on, like, he has fouled a few times to get them knucks into the ring.
It's about time Logan Paul gets his comeuppance. He can't keep cheating to win matches. Do it by your own skills technique.
Hold on a minute. What I don't understand is he prances around and says, "I have the knockout punch." Well, why do you need brass knuckles then if you have your knockout punch? Because I'm going to go back in time a bit here. I'm going to go back in time. The last knockout punch that we saw that was a great knockout punch was the Big Show's WMD. But Logan Paul's knockout punch needs brass knuckles. You can't claim to have a knockout punch and then need brass knuckles to use for your knockout punch.
Yeah. But the thing is, with the idea of using these knuckles, though, is obviously he's got the titanium rod or whatever it is in his hand, right?
Yeah, right
Obviously,
hand.
that's the first, in his right hand.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like they're using that as, like, do you remember with big shows like WMD, like obviously the knockout punch, but the idea of obviously doing it with the knuckle dusters, I like it. I don't know if obviously you guys sound like you're not as invested in that, but the idea of, hang on, let me explain. So the idea of having the dusters involved as well would be, it's insult to injury. So you already know that the titanium's going to do the damage, but now he knows that. So let's put the dusters on, and then we're going to really add some damage. And I feel like that's the idea of that for Logan. He's not there because he can't do it, because we've seen him do it before.
He's got the skill, he's got a technique, he's doing well for himself, but he's trying to be the new version of Nature Boy Ric Flair.
Do you think?
I think so. It feels like it to me. Do you not think?
It really does.
I would say
feel
more
like
William Regal. I would say
No,
No, man.
the high flying jetstream boy with limousines and shit and drinking champagne and
Cheating to win, cheating to win.
Think of Flair.
I don't know. I see Regal because of the knuckles. Flair didn't really do knuckles. Like, he did cheat to win, granted. But
Yeah.
maybe a combination of the two.
It could be. I'll go with that. I'll go with that.
But
Regal Flair.
I'll tell you what though. The matter, even like knuckle dusters involved, not involved, you can't not the work rate that Logan Paul is in the ring. He is so insanely talented.
Oh, his work rate's solid. He's solid work rate. He's solid. He's got moves. He's got technique. He's got stamina galore. I don't knock the guy for that. I just don't like that he uses knuckle dusters. He doesn't need to. I don't like.
Yeah, but he's got to do something to make him like hated.
And technique to do a proper finisher. But he doesn't do it. He relies on them knuckle dusters.
Yeah. Yeah, I know, but you need to do something to make him get more heat.
We saw him.
Oh
yeah, cool. We see him in a match. Hit a perfect swanton off top rope.
Mm-hmm.
Not many wrestlers hit a perfect swanton. Not even Jeff Hardy hit perfectly. Hey, he's finished for decades.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's got technique. He's got the ability. He just wants to rely on them nuts. It drives me berserk.
But then look at it this way, right? From another booking standpoint, as a fan of wrestling, once someone finally grabs their knuckle dusters and then hits Logan with it, the pop will be insane.
Oh yeah,
so
it'll be amazing.
Obviously, there's a reason. It's planting a seed. So, obviously we've got a couple of things to discuss before we kind of like wind down. So I'm just trying to get the other graphic up. So obviously that's going to be insane. I feel like this needs to be spoken on, obviously, because it was probably one of the best starts to a show that I think we've seen since Mania, which is this.
Brilliant.
The Bloodline, with Cody and RKO. Man, I did not expect it just to kick off the way it did on the beginning of SmackDown. Like, what a way to open.
Open was huge. A great opener.
Insanely, it was done so well.
Opening up with an arena brawl, pretty much. It was everywhere.
Yeah.
Through the crowd, ringside, entrance ramp. It was everywhere. It was amazing.
It was good.
Can I add to that? Kevin Owens did a really nice swanton through table.
Yeah, you gotta love. Also, what is it with them banana boots that he's got on? Like the trainers. Every time I look at Kevin Owens and he's in a kind of a segment, right? Have you noticed? He's always got like bright trainers on. Look.
Well, he's just trying to hold on. He's just bring that graphic back up.
There you go.
He's just trying to rival Solo.
Yeah.
Red belt.
I mean, look, Solo's got the red belt, the red shoes.
This is color coordinated.
We've got red, yellow. We just need green. You got the traffic light system.
So did you? Obviously, this entire segment leads up to you know, the 6 man that we're going to be having at Money in the Bank. And what do you think of the build? Like, your thoughts on the build? Do you think it's been good? Has it been good enough?
Go on, Shade. You guys, mate. Go on.
I think it's been very great, very good. I'm just really impressed and very happy to watch what they're doing. You know, it's like we're finally at we're finally at a period where we want to tune in, where you want to know what's going on, where you want to see what's going on. I've also got like breaking news popping up on my phone for things to do with what we're doing right now.
All right, well, do that at the end. Drop that at the end.
Yeah, for later. We've also got some Mercedes. I can never pronounce her second name.
Money. Yeah.
Who's also voiced some opinions on stuff. We've got Ronda Rousey, who's also voiced some opinions on stuff. So there are things that I will mention at the end, and there is the Bloodline family. Hanoi.
Hanoi family. Yeah.
We have. I've got some news for you on that, with Hanoi family commenting on what happened, and I will reveal that when we get to the final part of Raw. Or SmackDown.
Yeah. Obviously, towards the end, like, we'll give in, like, if there's any updates and stuff. Carry on. Yeah, go on.
But mate, I just can't fault it. You can't fault what they're doing. You know?
Yeah.
I think the only fault I remember so far was back at Clash when Priest decided to go front flipping over the top rope. Other than that, WWE is possibly in one of been in the last 5-7 years.
See, for me, my biggest thing was, and like I'll say this because obviously I like to be honest about the way they've been doing things. We had such a good build towards the end of like Mania season. Like, Mania season was so damn good. Like the build up, obviously, with The Rock and Cody and Roman and so on and so on. That, like, anything that came after that, no matter how good it was not going to deliver at the same level, purely because there was a big build and then obviously it finished. So since then, we've not really had anything we've had stuff happening, like Gable turning heel and, you know, the Wyatt Six, like, re-debuting or debuting, should we say. But, you know, there's been stuff happening, but nothing kind of felt like that Mania moment.
Yeah.
And I feel like these 6 guys have really done well to get it to that Mania moment. That I think they've done incredibly well.
Yeah, it's been building nicely for like 3-4 weeks, nicely, slowly building it up nicely. Yeah. Starting with Kevin Owens and Randy Orton being attacked by the Bloodline, and then Cody coming back into it and helping them out, and then growing and growing and growing. I like it. It's been nicely building slowly.
Yeah, I said they have done well.
Yeah, and especially bringing in the 4th member of the Bloodline. Oh my God, the guy is killing it already. He did 2 things. Oh,
Samoan Werewolf, man. So good. It's so good. All right, so look, I want to kind of let's touch on the end, I think, of SmackDown, because obviously I think that's still within this subject, right? Guys, I want your honest opinions, because literally last week we were discussing there were things that you didn't like, okay? Annoyingly, I haven't got a clip ready because I could have played it, right? But we were discussing that you don't like this new Bloodline, like you wasn't a big fan of it. This week, though, your minds have changed. Obviously, they've put Paul Heyman through this table. Now, there is a news saying that obviously there's a video footage of him being put in a stretcher and being taken out. There's no official update on whether he sustained an injury, right? However, since then, we've had this moment of the big build to what's been going on, and I really, really like it. This moment here, and obviously, this moment here, which is what you were talking about, Jacob Fatu, obviously,
Samoan fly.
Samoan splashing Paul Heyman because he refused to acknowledge Solo Sikoa as the new tribal chief.
The loyalty that we heard from Paul Heyman's mouth at the end of SmackDown was great. I acknowledge that you are not my tribal chief.
Yeah.
The sheer look, like just everything Paul Heyman done to sell that, the facial expressions, the tears in his eyes,
the emotion as well in his voice
like
as well. The
sheer emotion that turned into like a sort of anger as he said that line,
and then fear,
which then turned into fear, being smacked through a table. And we have some news that has come out about 5 hours ago from Rikishi,
right,
giving his opinion on what happened in the ring, going on record saying 2 words: "It's done."
Mm-hmm.
Meaning that he's proud. He got asked after he made the statement, and he's released a small snippet here. I am very proud to see the loyalty in the ring of the bloodline acknowledging themselves and demolishing the traitor.
All right, so this is my question, right? With Rikishi saying it's done with the exclamation mark. The question is, obviously, hopefully you'll get this reference. Did Jacob Fatu do it for The Rock? Are we still talking about? Is there someone else? Is there someone else that's still this leader, or is it Solo? Because last week you guys were telling
Rikishi?
I don't think it's Rikishi.
I don't think it's. I still think I'm going with what I said last week. I don't think it's The Rock or Roman in charge. I think it's someone else in that Samoan bloodline somewhere in charge. And in other breaking news, which WWE released this week, which I'm now gonna reintroduce again. Sympathies to the Samoan dynasty and the bloodline. Unfortunately, Roman Reigns' father has passed away early this week. Unfortunately,
he did. Yeah, that's obviously.
So yeah.
Very sad for Roman there.
But yeah,
very sad for the family dynasty losing a legend.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly that. Obviously,
and the word legend being used lightly because
he's not a legend, mate. He's a Hall of Famer, brother.
Hall of Famer, yeah. Hall of Famer, legend. You know, insane talent.
He was good. Part of the Samoan hit squad.
Just, yeah. I think, do you know what? It's so sad. You know, obviously our thoughts go and prayers going out to Roman and the rest of the Anoa'i family.
Indeed.
I will say though, Roman had a moment, obviously, when he finally got given the neck like attire. I can't remember what that's called.
The red necklace.
Yeah, like he obviously had that moment with Afa and Sika, obviously at the top. So to be crowned, you know, the tribal chief by the elders, obviously of that family.
Oh, he was crowned by his own father.
Yeah, that's what.
So
that's what I'm saying, man.
That's
so
massive respect from his father and from his own bloodline.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So, but yeah. So let's move on to like one of the final things as well. Moving away from bloodline, obviously. I really want to get that jacket from Seth Rollins. I think it's great.
I like it.
You know what? When I saw this, it reminded me of 101 Dalmatians.
Yeah. Corella Deville's got competition. I'm telling you. I was saying that though. Damian Priest jacket. Also,
that's my style. That's me all over.
Equally as good. I mean, if they swap jackets, I don't know if they could pull it off the same. But I'd like to see it. So obviously we have got the match of Seth and Damian Priest. Obviously, we'll talk about that on the Money in the Bank predictions. And just to confirm, The graphic is there, guys. Okay, it's happening. We are doing the predictions for the Money in the Bank. It will be coming up this week. I will say as well, there will be no WWE Weekly Roundup next Sunday because we are going to be doing the Money in the. We're going to be doing, I believe it's NXT, right? We've got NXT Money and
NXT
Money in the Bank.
Heatwave on Sunday, and then the day before we've got to do Money in the Bank.
So there'll be
So
some
we've got a busy
predictions
week,
for that
boys.
as well.
Busy week.
And
Right.
just so you know, England play as well next Saturday. So
Do we really need to open that can of worms after
No.
what the
Oh, no,
performance
we're not-
that we had today? No.
we'll
But
keep
the
football
can
away
I
from
will
it.
open, speaking of football, Manchester City and WWE launched exclusive merchandise collaboration. What do you make of that, boys?
Look, I like the idea, right? I do like the WWE Man City thing. I think it's very clever. The merch looks really cool, right? I would say though, I'm sure Triple H is a West Ham fan.
That's what I want to see. Hold on a
See,
minute.
I
Where is
didn't
my merchandise? I ain't wearing none of this baby
I
blue
haven't
crap.
heard West Ham fan for Triple H. I've heard Chelsea fan for Triple H.
No,
No,
because Triple
no.
H, even on I'm just looking now, WWE on West Ham's website.
On one of the post
it
press
says-
conferences
on,
after a
guys.
PLE, he said he's a West Ham fan.
Right, I would say, look, so West Ham's website has got Triple H as a hammer, and the 16th of December 2015, it says WWE superstar Triple H has declared himself a West Ham fan, and it says Triple H has declared himself a West Ham fan, a West Ham United fan, and tipped centre forward Andy Carroll as a potential wrestling star. I mean, let's not get into Andy Carroll now because I don't want to get into football, but
No.
obviously Triple
No.
H carrying the sledgehammer, and obviously West Ham being called the Hammers and stuff like that. It kind of goes hand in hand. As
Fair enough.
Gimmicky
Fair enough.
for that, you know,
Maybe what I read was fake news. Maybe.
possibly.
Fair enough.
And
But I mean, look,
another
hang on.
SmackDown thing. Go on.
one sec. Oh, I say all like football teams aside, they've been doing the merchandise now. Like the WWE have been working obviously with all different like football teams and stuff like that. And I believe
Baseball's been a big one.
Baseball, yeah. Like
They've done baseball, they've done NFL, they've done
for like for the belts and stuff, right?
Basketball, everything. Yeah, loads of them.
Right, for the titles. So
Yeah.
do you think this is one of those things that kind of it's a little peek, like a little nudge to the door to open it up for maybe, just maybe, we get WWE Premier League like connections, like as legacy
Or
belts?
twisting it around a little bit and throwing a big old spanner in the works.
Mm.
It is a hint that maybe Man City Stadium could be the home of WrestleMania coming up soon in England.
Yeah. I mean, how big is the?
Their stadium's one of the biggest in England. One of them, not the biggest, one of the biggest.
Talking about sports and WWE and
So maybe that
the,
could
the
be
sort of
something. Maybe. Be nice.
talking about this though. Recently, we had the Undertaker out in Saudi.
Yeah.
Who did his music walkout and lifted their big trophy.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah.
So there is definitely something going on with WWE and sports. Like,
Yeah.
when I say sports, I mean football, basketball, baseball, you know? And I'm curious to see where it's going to go.
Well, I would say, just to answer your question, Deeks. So obviously the Etihad's been renovated a lot. They spent a lot of money on it.
Yeah.
Record football attendance, like so soccer, football, obviously here in the UK it's football. Record football attendance,
soccer for Americans.
54,693, and that was just stadium. That was without pitch.
Yeah.
A capacity though for a music concerts 60,000. So we could look at roundabout. Obviously, that's with, let's say, the stage. Let's say if you put the stage in, you took out the back lot of seats, you had all the people standing. That makes sense. I would say roundabout maybe 50,000, 50 odd thousand for a size of it. Now, bearing in mind that's not too bad well, I still think obviously Wembley's the
I
biggest.
believe our biggest stadium is Wembley. Yeah, I think that would easily sit probably 80,000.
It's
I believe the number
90,000
we're looking
without
for
fans.
Wembley is like 92, 91.
Yeah, it's 90 in the 90s. I would say though, West Ham London Stadium is a capacity of 68,000, and that's seated.
They're
So
definitely
standing.
spoiled for stadiums.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
So
today's go over here massive. Look at the Tottenham Stadium. They've been hosting for the last 4 or 5 years. They've been hosting NFL matches.
yeah.
So there's choices about.
Yeah, I can see it's either going to be the London Stadium, because I mean, standing, by the way, but for concerts, London Stadium's capacity is 80,000, and Tottenham Stadium I think it's even bigger. The Tottenham Hotspur Stadium is, if I can find the correct numbers for you, the capacity is 62,000, 62,850. That's the capacity, but I haven't got one for concerts yet.
And that's that.
And that's seated. So standing, maybe you're looking an additional like 15,000 or something.
15,
so
maybe
like,
20,000. So you're looking at mid 80s.
Yeah. So it's good, man.
Yeah,
so I can see like WWE working alongside and doing something like that. Do we get a WWE Premier League belt kind of crossover? I don't know. If we do, obviously,
it'd be nice.
Sell like hotcakes.
If it happens, I'll be getting. If it happens, they make my club. So I ain't mentioning who it is because I don't want to.
Yeah, that's valid.
I'll probably be buying one.
So, but yeah, man, that's obviously that. But as we as we close, there are some things. So, guys, please be sure to look out for the work and stuff that we're coming on. Obviously, this video drops this week, which is the Money in the Bank winners tier list. That drops midweek. Obviously, the rest of this week as well, we have got Money in the Bank predictions that coming up. And guys, sorry, I did forget to do an NXT Heatwave graphic. I was too busy trying to get some other stuff done, but we do have NXT Heatwave predictions as well to come up. If I can, I want to kind of maybe do like a recap on AEW. I'm not going to have time to do predictions. So I'll probably do like a recap as opposed to, or like just a quick rewind or roundup kind of thing of AEW. So if you're about for that, if you'll know if it happens, because obviously we'll go live and stuff like that, and you'll see that on our X account. You'll also see that on TikTok. Obviously, you'll see it on YouTube. But to be in the know when we go live, what videos are coming next, please hit subscribe, hit the notification bell so you know when we're going live, when the videos coming out, and what's going on. And finally, we obviously we need to do a big shout out right now to Rogue Energy. So
Damn
please
right.
unleash your potential with Rogue Energy. It's the premium energy drink that fuels your focus, whether you're streaming, gaming, working, or hitting the gym. There's no jitters, just sustained energy. Elevate your day with Rogue. Now, if you want to use that code, the Hounds, you get 10% off at the checkout. Obviously, that gets a couple of pennies back to us, so then we can carry on doing this. Until then, though, guys, I think that's it. Is there anything else we kind of need to cover?
We've got some more news that I have here. Let's not forget SmackDown. WWE frustrated by SmackDown's censorships.
Oh yeah.
All
right. So
WWE are livid.
Look, I understand from one perspective to another, right? Like from one side of it, Fox, yes. So this is from two different sides. WWE want the crowd to make as much noise, right? They pay a lot of money to be there, so they get to chant, sing, scream,
Do what they want.
Yeah, within reason. Like they tell the wrestlers that they don't like them or they love them, right? Obviously, there's certain things that won't be tolerated, which is like forms of abuse. Obviously, like saying that you hate the wrestler is different to being racist or homophobic or whatever. Completely different, right? Within terms of like being a fan. So obviously, we're not going to take any of that kind of stuff. However, telling a wrestler that they suck, do that as much as you want. All right. If he was in Philadelphia, right? And you got a move wrong, and it went slightly wrong. The words "you effed up" would be echoing around the building for 5 minutes.
Oh yeah, all way along.
Let's look at Kurt Angle with the "you suck" chant.
Wherever you go, mate, if you do a move wrong and you excuse the language, cock it up, as I say in England.
Exactly. Like you're gonna know about.
Rip you for it. We would rip you for it.
Right. So Fox are censoring. They're trying to do their best to censor it by basically blackening the screen when they say something. So obviously they're like a minute delay. So if anything does happen or anything like that, there's a way for them to cut the feed, edit the feed quickly, and then flip it back on again. They have like an on-off switch, I'm assuming, right? But it's annoying because obviously as a viewer and we're watching this,
let's not remember in the UK it's after what we call the watershed.
Yeah. So so after
over here, we had the movies released on what we have as called as Turbo. In America, it's called Fox. So
yeah. What is our watershed TV time? I actually don't know.
9 o'clock.
9 o'clock.
I don't really watch 9 p.m. Yeah,
9 o'clock.
I don't really watch like UK TV. Like if I want to watch something, I'll watch a show, but I don't really watch TV.
The fact that SmackDown is at 1 o'clock in the morning over here, and even it's been censored at 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
So
ridiculous. Pointless.
It is. But I will say, Triple H has confirmed that things will be changing in terms of the way they're doing things once this Netflix deal happens.
Oh, right? Netflix is mad, mate. Netflix. It's going to be absolutely mad.
Obviously, once we finally get a proper update of what's going on, we'll go into bigger detail as much as we can about what's happening with Netflix, the deal that's going on, if there's different subscriptions and stuff. All the information, we're going to compile it and we'll do like a separate entity video of covering everything. But for now, all we know is that WWE will be going to Netflix, I believe, guys, from January, right?
I believe January, yes. January 2025, I believe, yes. That's the last thing I read. Heard.
Beginning of in 2025. That's all it says. Yeah. Netflix to become the new home of WWE Raw beginning 2025. So we're only assuming that that's January. It says beginning in January. So I don't know what day that is. I can check the calendar now. I can tell you what Raw. If it'll be Raw first.
While you're checking that, another piece of news with AEW tonight. Mm-hmm. Tony Khan has just released a statement saying he needs to shift focus onto WWE. What do you make of that?
I need to read in context. So it'll be the 6th of January, by the way. So that'll be the first Raw because the last one is still in December. So the first Raw will be on Netflix. Technically, we believe it could be the 6th of January. What was you saying about Tony Khan?
So Tony Khan has gone on record literally within the last few hours saying that he needs to shift his focus onto WWE with a statement saying, as the AEW president, I have been steering the company for better or worse over the past several years. One of AEW's most pressing issues is dwindling ratings over time. However, Khan has admitted that he needs to focus on doing good shows for AEW and needs to shift some focus onto what WWE are doing.
Yeah. I've just read that. Yeah, I literally just got it as you were reading it. Look, I'll be really quick with this. Obviously, Deeks, I know you don't watch AEW. Shades kind of, you dip in when you can.
When I can, there is a lot to watch.
Yeah, there is a lot to watch. So I would say like I'm more of the guy that watches AEW. I will say there's a lot of stuff that doesn't help. Obviously, we had the backstage thing called Brawl In, Brawl Out with CM Punk and all that. That left the dirtiest taste in a lot of wrestling fans' mouths because of obviously what happened. And then they showed the backstage footage a little bit later on after CM Punk re-signed with WWE. And they showed that obviously it was the Punk and the Jungle Boy stuff happened. If anything, the person that gained from that probably was Jungle Boy, because of like the gimmick that he's now using, the scapegoat. So obviously he was basically, Deeks, to sum it up for you, Jungle Boy was used as the reasons why it happened and was banned or suspended or whatever. and then he went to Japan, and they turned that into like a gimmick and moved on from that, right? So obviously we get that. What I will say though is AEW's viewership goes up and down, up and down. Now, I don't understand ratings personally, because they have a demo, then they have an X amount of this, then it drops and stuff. Obviously that makes sense, but the demo thing, like, I just want to watch wrestling, man. Like, I just want to watch wrestling. Like, you know, the more people that are watching it, the more wrestling we have. Just think, back in the day, we had WCW versus WWE, or WWF at the time, right? And that's all we had. And we used to watch WCW like on Channel 5, and that was like an abridged version. It wasn't like the legit version. Like, it was heavily edited.
Yeah, heavily.
Now we've got TNA, WWE, AEW. We have Triller TV, where we can watch like GCW and even more Major League Wrestling. Like, we're spoiled for the amount of wrestling. There's more wrestling, I think, than we have like now, that I think there probably has ever been on, like, able to get.
Oh yeah,
So
in my
good
youth,
wrestling as well.
literally all you had was the local area wrestling, which wasn't very good. WCW or as it was at the time, WWF, or now WWE. That's all you had. All the stuff you had, all the stuff now, there's loads more of it now.
Exactly. So look. In regards to Tony Khan needs to look at. I think everyone always looks at, they put WWE on a pedestal purely because it's a case of it's the WWE. At the same time,
they are the one on top of the pinnacle right now, and everyone's chasing trying to knock them off of it, and they're not doing good enough to do it.
Exactly. But at the same time, I would say
like
AEW does a hell of a good job at putting on shows, and their pay-per-views are always top quality. They're top quality matches. Storylines are always are good. The thing is, there's a lot of inconsistencies, and I think that comes down to maybe Tony Khan doesn't get told no a lot, maybe, or he gets told yes too much. You know, there's little things like that. You know, you can be surrounded by yes men at times. I hope that people don't take him for granted, because from what we see of him, like, he says to the wrestlers that how much he supports them, you know, and he goes out of his way to make sure that their contracts are fine. You know, and this is only stuff that we see on screen. I don't know what he's like backstage. I don't know how easy it is to approach him, but from what we've seen, he seems like, you know, a lovely guy. So I think no matter what, AEW could put on the most amazing show, right? And there will still be people crapping on it.
Yeah.
So I think personally, the best thing is for Tony just to focus on AEW. Forget about trying to compete with WWE. If you want to compete and be the greatest company in the world, then fine. Be the greatest company in the world. However, right now, you're 5 years into the company. Just be you. Like, make AEW what it is and what was so special. You know, we had moments of the indiness, and we had some comedic wrestling. Then we had, like, you know, strong style wrestling, and we had this, and we had something. Man, like, that first few years of AEW was incredible. It was so damn good. You know, and I just want to see it like that again. But to, like, kind of finish on my thing on it, Tony Khan just needs to stop looking for something as a competition and basically go, all right, study it. This is what they're doing. This is what we're not doing. I don't want to copy what they're doing, but I want to do something similar. How do I do this? Because the minute he starts making little changes, the product will change. And I think if the product changes, then it'll change for the better.
You got to think as well, though. In the last 25, 30 years of WWE/F being alive, they've destroyed 4 companies.
That's what I mean.
You know, they destroyed WCW. They destroyed nearly TNA. They took out ECW. You know what I mean? That's 3 big companies, and I think there's another one there, but I can't remember off the top of my head who it is.
I mean, we had like NWA was kind of associated with them, like new, you know, like with the title and stuff like that. And obviously Vince signed, like all like the what they call the territories, and what kind of took over territories. You know, straight away. So like, it's different now. You know, there's so much wrestling that I think if
Yeah.
you can just put out a consistently good product and fans like it, then you're doing your job.
Yeah.
You know, there's always going to be people moaning. I don't like everything that WWE does weekly. I'm not a fan of everything.
Oh, no,
However,
I think. The majority
I
of
mean-
it, yeah, it's good stuff. But there's a
Yeah.
few bits that's like, no, I don't like that.
literally at the beginning of this episode, we were talking about Dijak, them fumbling Dijak with his contract.
Yeah.
So there's going to be issues. But look, I think, like, guys, anyone that is like you're watching now, get off Tony's back. Like, in my opinion, just enjoy wrestling. Because if it was to go tomorrow, you'd be the first person to complain that the only company that we get to watch is WWE. So we have an alternative. Do you like it all the time? No. But enjoy it. Because like I said, if it was to go, you'd be the first to bitch that the only thing we can see is WWE. And believe me, do you remember 2019 WWE when Roman Reigns was covered in dog food? Do you want to go back to that shit? No.
No, I do not.
No, we do not.
No.
All right? So bear that in mind. Like, that's my opinion.
Final point that I'll make with regards to something on TNA, seeing as how there's the WWE TNA partnership, that Matt Hardy and Jeff Hardy have returned to TNA Wrestling, and a WWE legend, Hall of Famer, that we all grew up watching on SmackDown as the general manager, Teddy Long, has gone on record saying right here, good for them. Jeff and Matt, they've worked hard, real hard together, and had trials and tribulations, but they overcome such a lot, man. And they're both doing great, so great now.
Yeah. Matt's
Could we
lost a
see
lot of weight. Matt Hardy's won. He's lost a lot of weight and turned himself around to get himself in incredible shape. Arguably, probably one of the greatest looking shapes that he's probably ever been in. So mad kudos to Matt Hardy for that. Obviously, Jeff's had his trials and tribulations. He's had struggles.
battles.
We've seen them. He's had his battles. However, if we get one more run as like the Hardy, the final run of the Hardys, I think, in my opinion, in my opinion, this is what I think needs to happen. Right, they're working in TNA without TNA contracts. They are legally, technically, still free agents. TNA and WWE are doing something together. Now, look, if you want to do something with some tag titles with TNA and the Hardys and WWE, whether that's NXT or not, I don't know. But if they were to put something together like that, and then basically have it as a way that TNA does get viewership from working with the WWE, however, on the basis that the Hardys are signed to, I think if the Hardys were signed to WWE, working for TNA, kind of like a contract, kind of like that. So like loaned out, rented out, whatever you want to kind of put it as. And then basically we have a final Hardy Boy run in WWE, and then that's how they retire, where I think they started. I think that to me is that that's their go home. That's how they retire. Then go into
so based on what you've said, TNA have released a statement saying TNA has already rolled out the proverbial red carpet, even letting Matt Hardy resume his cinematic Hardy Compound universe.
Yeah. They want to do a lot to keep, obviously, Matt around. So look, I'm all for it, man. Like I said, if we get more wrestling content, we get more stuff to talk about. We get more stuff to talk about, then we get more wrestling content. With this reason why we started doing this podcast. So for me, if we get more wrestling, go for it. You know, like I said, we're not always going to like it. However, that's wrestling, man. Like, some things that we're going to like, some things we aren't going to like. You know, you probably don't like half of the comedic stuff that we get from Orange Cassidy. I think it's quite entertaining. The Colt Cabana stuff, to me, quite entertaining. You know, there's beef between Colt Cabana and CM Punk. I'm not involved in that. I like both guys. Like, I just want to watch wrestling and enjoy it for what it is. So I think, look, that's how we leave it. That's how we look at it. But look, whatever happens with the Hardys, as long as they retire gracefully, respectfully, and they go out on their terms, I'm happy. I was a big Hardy Boy fan growing up. Still a big Hardy Boy
I think we all were, mate, really, back in the day.
Yeah. You know,
of course we were.
So I'd just want to see them retire happily, and then when they get their moment, they go into the WWE Hall of Fame. I feel like we've had the Dudleys go in. We've had Edge go in. I would like to see the Hardys go in. And obviously, at one point, once he's happy and he's retired, I'd like to see Christian go in. And I think I would love to see them all stand there in the Hall of Fame ceremony like we have before. You know, all with their hands up, just, you know, soaking in the
Atmosphere.
the love that they get and the atmosphere that they get. I really do think it needs to happen.
I think it's them three teams, mate, back in the late 90s, early 2000s, mate, they tore it up between three of them, you know? The Hardys, the Dudleys, the Edge and Christian, they tore it up. They had,
exactly.
Between the three teams, they had epic matches and epic feuds.
I mean, because of them, they changed like the landslide of how you do things for ladder matches, and then from that we got table matches. From that we got TLC matches.
Yep.
You know,
they renovated so much stuff for us over the years. So much stuff. They put the boys on the land so many times, so often. Them guys are amazing. All six of them are amazing.
Yeah.
They're all good talents, all good guys. They all work hard. They do stuff that's amazing, which is encouraged our current generation of wrestlers today.
Exactly.
That they're doing the same things now.
Exactly that. But I think this is what I want to see. Again, one more time, or two, for the final time. Those six just standing there, just soaking in that atmosphere. All as Hall of Famers. I think that's a good way to end this stream as well. You know, on a positive. But guys, thank you for listening. Any comments, obviously, that you do leave, obviously after the show, leave them there. We will respond to them as much as we can. You can follow us on TikTok and on X. Obviously, they'll be in the bio, so find us there. Obviously, some of this will be clipped. If there's like some discussions that we feel like we need to put on for something or whatever on TikTok and that, to go and find us over there. We do respond over there as well. We do have some prediction stuff going on, obviously Money in the Bank, and we do have NXT coming, and we do have a midweek video which will be coming this week, which is the Money in the Bank winners tier list. It's a bit of a long one, but if you can get through that, you're stronger than we were, because we were all struggling.
We were struggling. We was having a bit of an argument sometimes as well. It was good, and a laugh. It was good. It was good fun.
Yeah,
it was a struggle.
So, all right, guys, it's been a pleasure talking wrestling with you again. Obviously, I'm just gonna stick this
always,
and then we're gonna head out of here. All right. So, thank you everyone for joining, and we will see you on the next stream. Peace.